So the final question on this paper, on the 2016 paper, was this one. And it starts off relatively okay. We've just got to find dy by dx. We've got to differentiate. So if we've got y... Oh, try that again. If we have got y equals 2x cubed plus kx squared plus 5x plus 6, dy by dx, you just bring down the powers and multiply by whatever's in the front. So 3 times 2 is going to be 6x squared. Remember the squared there? Plus, if you bring the 2 down, it's going to be 2kx. When you differentiate something x, it just goes to the number, so it's going to be 5. And because there's no x here, you just get rid of that 6. So dy by dx for 2 marks equals this here. Now b is probably the biggest part of this question. It says the point P where x equals minus 2 lies on the curve. So it lies on this curve somewhere. It says the tangent to this is parallel to the line with this equation. So this is where the understanding comes in. If it's parallel, then that means the same gradient. If two things are parallel, in primary school we teach they never touch and they go in the same direction. When it comes to A level, parallel means the same gradient. So if we've got this equation here, we've got to work out what the gradient of this equation is. And the way we work out the gradient of that is we arrange it as y equals. So 2y, if we get these bits and pieces on the other side, 2y equals 17x plus 1, divide through by 2, and y equals 17 over 2x plus a half. So therefore the gradient here is 17 over 2. Now go back to part A, dy by dx, that is how you find the gradient. So the gradient of the curve at any point is this thing here. And what we've got to do, or what we're told, is that when x equals minus 2, the gradient is 17 over 2. So we write down that 17 over 2 equals 6 lots of our value of x. And our value of x when the gradient is 17 over 2 is minus 2. So 6 lots of minus 2 squared plus 2k times minus 2 plus 5. And then we've got to solve that for k. So 17 over 2 equals minus 2 squared is 4, so times that by 6 is 24. 2k times minus 2 is going to be minus 4k plus 5. So 17 over 2 equals 29 minus 4k. Getting rid of the divided by 2 there, so times both sides by 2, we've got 17 equals 58 minus 8k. Because this is minus, bring that over to the other side, so 8k, and then we get rid of the 17 by taking that away, so that equals 41. Then k equals 41 divided by 8. And that's those 4 marks. That's probably the hardest part about this question. So find the value of k. So now we've got the value of k, what we can do is go back up to here and replace plus k with plus 41 over 8. Or indeed, it's here with 41 over 8. So now we've got to work out the value of the y coordinate of p. So I know that when x equals minus 2, the y coordinate, I've got to substitute minus 2 into the original equation, but without the k this time. So we now know that the original equation should have been 2x cubed plus 41 over 8x squared plus 5x plus 6. We're going to substitute, so part C, sub in x equals minus 2. So y equals minus 2 cubed is going to be minus 8, so 2 times minus 8 plus 41 over 8 times minus 2 squared is going to be times by 4 plus 5 times minus 2 is going to be minus 10 plus 6. So again, we don't have a calculator. So 2 times minus 8 is going to be minus 16. 41 over 8 times 4. We're going to cancel this 4 with, say, I'll leave this with 2 on the bottom. So 41 over 2, which is 20 and a half, minus 10 plus 6. Okay, so if we just deal with the whole numbers, minus 16 minus 10 is going to be minus 26, plus 6 is going to be minus 20. Minus 20 plus 20 and a half leaves us with y equals a half. That's it for those 2 marks. So y equals a half. And now finally, we've got part D. So the equation of the tangent to C at P, so we've got to find the equation of the tangent. Now, as soon as it says find the equation of the tangent, the equation of any line, we write down y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. And what we need to have is we need to have a set of coordinates, and we need to have the gradient. So we know that at P, we've just found out that the x-coordinate is minus 2 and the y-coordinate at P is a half, so it's going to be minus 2.5. And the gradient, we knew that the gradient was parallel to this, so the gradient is 17 over 2. And again, it's a very easy question, but all it's asking you, the reason that it's the last question is because you've got to find the gradient from different parts of the question and know that's what you're looking for. And once you know that the gradient is 17 over 2, and once you know that the coordinate is minus 2.5, it just goes back to being a very, very easy question. So y minus a half equals 17 over 2 x minus minus 2, so that's going to be x plus 2. And then what you do in this case here, because you've got a fraction for the gradient, times everything by, or times the other side by 2, and times out the brackets by 17. So that's going to be 2y minus 1 equals 17x plus 34. Then get everything onto one side. I usually have the x as positive, but in the mark scheme it says you can have any multiple of that. So you can have 17x minus 2y if you bring everything over to the right hand side. So you take away 2y and then you add 1. It's going to be plus 35 equals 0. Or in the mark scheme I think they've got 2y minus 17x minus 35 equals 0, which you'd get if you took everything onto the right hand side. But either way, these are the correct answers.